episode and training number 283. Topic title for today, getting out of a rut. Go ahead in the chat or the comments if you've been kind of in a rut, a mental rut. It could be a physical rut. It could be a rut in your relationship, a rut in the business, a rut in your trading, whatever it is. Sometimes, people get to this point where it's almost March and they feel like that those goals, the things that they wrote down in January, now they're kind of stale, they're stagnant, they're kind of losing that motivation, that inspiration to continue to move forward. I want to talk about that today. I'm going to go ahead and do a share screen. And for those who are watching right now on social media, I'm going to make sure and get each and every one of you a copy of this. That way that everything that I talk about today, you guys will not only have the recording for, but you're also at the same time going to have the PDF that I'm going to give you as well. So let's go ahead and get into this. Super excited to have each and every one of you on here. And we're going to talk about how to get unstuck. Well, the first thing is, and this is something I've said for a few years, and a lot of you have heard it, but the only way to get through a rut is to get through the rut, to grow through it. So you focus on where you're going to, not what you're going through. You're going to grow through this. I was just talking to my daughter the other day, and basically she had an experience up at a business entrepreneurship thing that she was doing in school. Didn't feel like that her partner did very well. And I talked about failing forward, and that if everything just always went well, then we wouldn't appreciate the times that are actually going good. And so it's in this experience that we learn from it, we gain wisdom from it, we just get better and better. And so sometimes when you're feeling a little bit stagnant, you feel like you're almost in this mental rut, sometimes it's just about just getting through it. Time passes, we get through it. Some healing can even take place, whether it's with somebody else or yourself, but you grow through this. And that's why I say you focus on where you're going to, not what you're going through. You're going to grow through those things. Okay. Another recommendation, you'll rarely hear me actually say this, but I feel like it is important. Sometimes you just need to take a day off. All right. Watch TV, watch Instagram reels, take a nap, eat some popcorn. You might be mentally burned out. I know a lot of people who, as an entrepreneur especially, it's like they're doing it 7 days a week. And I think that's a mistake. Sometimes you just need days off. Look, with the gym, on the weekends, I typically don't work out. Sometimes I'll go in and do a little stuff on Saturday, but I need that rest and recovery time so that the muscles and the fibers have time to recover and grow. And just think of it like the mental batteries in your brain. It needs that time off, a day off or so that way you have like a mental recharge so that you then come fresh the next day. So if it means that you have to chill a little bit, you have to kick back, put your feet up, watch some stuff, sometimes that's what you need. When you're kind of going through this, you might be burned out physically, mentally, emotionally. So that's a suggestion I have for you as well. You cannot change results. Results are the end result of habit. So these habits that you have all the way up to this time, you look at the last 2 to 5 years of your life, these habits that you have, it's like we are now the sum total of those habits that we have created, both the good ones and the bad ones. Now, when you say you can't control the end result, a lot of people say you can with your thoughts, your actions and all that, and that's certainly true, but there are certain things that are out of our control. So here's the thing that you can control: the habits that you cultivate. Sometimes when you're stuck, you need to create new habits to get you out of being stuck. For example, sleeping too much, taking too many naps, right? Watching too much social media, watching too much TV. So by altering those habits, you can now alter your life at the same time. And here's another thing, and I actually told this to my daughter the other day, is that sometimes these experiences, these ruts, they need to happen to show what we actually believe. Think about that. Sometimes when we kind of get, someone squeezes us, right? And life comes at us and almost, pops you in the face, right? It's during these times that you find what kind of faith you have. See, it's easy to have faith when the bills are paid, rank is up, trading's going well, relationship's good. What you really believe is in those times where it's down, right? What you really believe. So in this time, what do? You refocus your efforts. Champions don't quit. They simply make adjustments. They align the boats of the sails. They just realign it. You refocus the efforts in the direction that you're going to. Okay. Now, what about like if you guys have a business right now, you're building a team. What about those where maybe you have a leader that leaves the organization? I had one leave about 2 months ago. Well, about 2.5 months ago, I had a significant leader leave the organization. And I remember at first I was like, oh man, because I was actually friends with this person. But this is the mentality. It's time to break records. It's time to break records. I'm going to replace. So when they leave, I replace. It's time to break records. Every setback is a setup for a greater comeback. And guess what? We've had some significant leaders who have just entered the organization. And one of my leaders just hit Chairman 25 yesterday. See, it's sometimes those things happen, but they happen for us, not to us. So what did it do? It caused me to have to step up and grow. I can either whine about it, I can complain about it, I can moan and groan about it, or I can do something about it. I decided to just do something about it. Personal enrollments and working with the leaders. Okay, so when somebody leaves, you have an organization, you replace. It's time to break records. Personal enrollments, volume, and all that, right? Because how you react to respond makes a difference. There have been times in my life where I've been more reactive than I should. I try very hard to respond. Now, maybe my words are not always the best in those situations, but I respond in a positive way through my actions. My actions are the response to those times, those things that come at us when life pops you in the face, right? I put that positive action, not just the thought, but the actions to move forward to fix the issues, right? So some people are more reactive and then they don't do anything. So they not only react, but they're not actually doing anything to change the situation. That's why you got to think win-win, not what the problems are. You focus on solutions. You don't focus on problems, because what you focus on grows. So you realize there's a problem, you got awareness, but now you focus on the solution, what to do about it. Okay. One of the things I tell people, and I shared this years ago, is that you got to prepare for disappointments in advance, knowing that they're going to happen. So credit cards declining, people quitting, volume back office issues, software issues. You are going to face all kinds of problems and setbacks, okay? Even countless obstacles with people that are going to come in one door and they're going to go out the other door. But you make the decision that no matter what the difficulty, no matter what the setback, I will not let them get me down and steal my dreams and steal my goals. Once I start, I'm unstoppable. See, the mentality that Dr. Lee and I had was quitting is not an option. Okay, we're going to figure this out. And so, but part of this is you prepare knowing that, look, disappointments are going to come. Champions realize that it's part of the process, this necessary part of the process to success. Gary Vee says, without hustle, talent will only carry you so far. A lot of people, they're relying on their talents, but work will outdo talent. When talent won't work, you got to be willing to put in that hustle to kind of make up for maybe certain skills or things that you lack, you make up for in work ethic. Eric Thomas said, don't make a habit out of choosing what feels good right now over what's actually good for you. That's one of those things that for me, I feel like I've been really disciplined at. Sometimes there's certain things that feel kind of good in the moment, right? But I want to do the things that are actually good for me. And I know that there's the time to grind, there's a time to relax and chill, but focusing on the things that are good for me right now. A lot of times, what you do in your spare time is an indicator of what you care most about. If you guys followed me around, if you had a camera on me and you found out what I do in my spare time, besides spending time with my wife and my kids, I'm focused. Get that camera out. Follow me around for 24 hours a day besides sleep, so 16 hours. Follow me around. You will see that I am focused. I'm growing. I'm progressing. I'm working on my mind. I'm listening to audios. I'm reading books. I'm taking notes. I'm always moving forward in a positive direction. I was listening to Ed Milet this morning, and it reminds me of the quote. Totally resonated with it because I was talking to my wife the other day. We were just talking about basically how people have these different mentalities out there and basically how they look forward to getting to the weekend and chilling and relaxing. And a lot of people are just frankly into comforts, not growth, right? It's like they're going after the things that make them feel comfortable. And one thing that I told her, this is not something I came up with. It's something that Ed Milet came up with. And he said, winning is fun more than fun is fun. And, I can tell you the guy behind me, Michael Jordan, He enjoyed winning 6 titles, right? And so while those other people are seeking out the comforts and the relaxation and watching Instagram reels, you're focused on the next championship. You're focused on hitting your goals. You're focused on growing those investment accounts, right? And so winning is fun more than fun is fun. So I want to give you guys the steps to basically how to get unstuck, how to get out of this rut. Number one is you got to relook at your why. Some people, they don't even have a why. They just want to pay the bills. And I'm going to tell you, that's not a why. Making 10 grand a month, that's not a why. Because that's not going to drag you out of bed, because you'd be like, you know what? I'm actually okay with making $3,000 a month. As long as my bills are covered, I'm happy. Why's got to be something that's deep, right? I always say, I actually heard a guy, he said, you need to have a why that makes you cry. I don't think we need any more people crying, frankly. Okay. You just need a why that gets your butt out of bed. That's it. You know what my why is? Take care of my family. Simple. I want to take care of my family. I want to be debt free, which I am, by the way. I want to be able to travel around the world and make a difference, make an impact, make a contribution, leave a legacy. That's my why. It's not all the materialistic things. You get sick of those things after a couple of weeks. You just get used to it. Relook at your why. Why did you get started on this journey? Okay. Number two is, are you doing a minimum of 15 minutes a day of personal development? If not, why not? Let me be so bold as to tell you guys something. And I think that this is going to be hurtful to some of you, but I do not for the life of me understand why people are listening to music and watching TV when they're not a millionaire. Now, some of you will say, well, I don't care about being a millionaire. Well, you say that until $1 million is given to you. The reality is I don't understand it. When we're watching TV, which is the television, which tells the vision of your life, it is the electronic income reducer. And for some of you, it's now the dang phone. I don't understand why you don't do personal development. Why don't you read books? Why don't you listen to audios? Well, I'm not really into that stuff. That's fine. Then you won't get used to winning either. And if you want to keep losing, then don't do that stuff. But if you want to live a certain kind of life, if you want to have those freedoms that you're looking for, this is a necessity. I don't even know where I'd be at today, 25 years that I've been doing this. I don't know where I'd be without personal development. Okay. Of course, yes, I've got my faith, my belief in God, that there's a supreme being, but I do not even know where I'd be without personal development. The audios, the books, the things that uplifted me, the education, the knowledge, it absolutely changed my life. I would not be where I'm at today without personal development. So that's number two. Number three is, are you reaching out? Like if you're building a team, building a business, are you reaching out to 2 people a day? And the reason why I say 2 to 5 people a day typically is because most people, they do this part-time. They don't do it full-time. Maybe if they're doing it full-time, it's 10, 15, 20 people a day. But here, 2 to 5 people a day. Why aren't you doing it? Why aren't you talking to people on social media? Why aren't you trying to attract people to want to do business with you? If you don't reach out or you don't find a way to get those people to check out what it is you're doing, you're not going to have a business. Okay. Like, what are we doing this for? Now, you may not be growing a team, but for those who are, that recommendation is important on how to get unstuck. Okay. Number 4 is, are you attending events, webinars, and calls? We just did Budapest, Hungary. We have Arizona coming up. We have Mexico coming up. If you're not coming, why? Why are you not going? Well, I don't have the time. I can't get a babysitter and all this. Look, if you had a parent that had cancer and you needed $2,000, I bet you'd find a way to do it. You'd find a way to get the money. You'd sell crap if you had to, because if they said they're going to die in a week unless you come up with $2,000, you'd go knocking doors if you had to get it. If you want something bad enough, you will find a way to get it. Okay. My first convention, my brother and I were eating saltine crackers. That is the dang truth. You could talk to him. We ate saltine crackers. We didn't have the money to go buy normal food. I don't even know if we even had a normal meal while we were at that particular convention in Utah. All right. What I do know is I lost, I think it was like 7 pounds of water weight while I was there, something like that, because we just didn't eat. When you want something bad enough, whether it's getting on Go Live calls, Zoom calls, going to regionals, going to nationals, going to the corporate conventions, you will find a way to make it happen. I don't even want to hear the excuses, because when person's, I don't have the money, that's a reason why you need to be there. Think about it. All the people that go to these events, it's not because they're all millionaires. They go to the events because they need to be there. When people go to church, that's not all the people that are not sinning. That church is for the sick. It's for the people who got problems. They're trying to get better. The conventions are the same thing. We're trying to get to that next level. We got problems, we got issues, and we need to get better. Okay. So be thinking about those events. Are you not going to the events? And if not, why not? If you want to get to that next, you'll never get to that level. If Michael Jordan's going, you go. If Tony Robbins going, you go. If Kobe Bryant's going, you go. If Alex Morton's going, you go, right? You see what I'm saying? Like, if those successful people are there, I got to find a way to get around those people. I need to be in that environment, rubbing shoulders and seeing this and feeling that energy. I'm going to get back home and I'm going to make sure that those dreams, those goals come to pass. All right. Last one, number 5. I'm giving you guys the steps. This is how to get unstuck. This is how to get out of a rut. Habits determine destinies. Habits remove ruts. And when I say habits, I'm talking about like good habits, okay? Stuff that you can proactively be doing. Here's a habit that I have. Before I go to bed, the last thing I do, I don't look at my phone before I go to bed. I've looked at my phone maybe 20 to 30 minutes earlier because I know that that light is going to affect my sleep. I try and put it down a little while before I go to bed. Here's another habit I have. When my alarm goes off, I never hit the snooze. I am up. Here's another good habit I have. I have it right in front of me. I got a big tank of water. I drink 2 of these a day on average, which is plenty of water, by the way. That's a good habit. I feel better because I drink all that water. Here's another good habit. When I first wake up, and you guys can see the proof on my YouTube channel with my daily routine, I start listening to personal development right away. Of course, I do it after I spend time with my wife and hug and kiss and stuff like that. Once I'm up and I'm going, I'm listening to personal development as I'm getting ready, as I'm brushing my teeth, as I'm brushing my hair, as I'm shaving my face. I listen to PD. When I go downstairs and I start having my oatmeal shake with my protein, I'm still listening to PD, right? That's a good habit. I go to the gym 5-6 days a week. That's a good habit. So you got to be thinking, habits determine destinies and habits remove ruts. And sometimes we have to alter the things that we're doing, saying, and thinking in order for us to change where we are now and where we're going to go. Do you realize that what you're experiencing right now is a result of what you've done the last 6 to 12 months? It's called the compound effect. If you haven't been reaching out, if you haven't been getting on calls, if you haven't been doing the things, you're just now suffering it's almost like the consequences now have caught up to you, right? It's like now we're suffering from, man, I thought I was comfortable, and we kind of start coasting in our job, right? Coasting in our business. Next thing you know, you're let go. You don't know why. Next thing you know, your business is not growing. Things are not getting better in your relationship because you've allowed those things to become stale. It doesn't just become stale, it's that people allow those things to happen. And that, my friends, is the truth. So if you guys like the message today, if you like the training, go ahead and put an amen. Whether you're on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, or Zoom, go ahead and put inside that chat box an amen. I really hope that these trainings help you, whether it's morning motivation or business building. I am here to help you guys have success. I care about you. I love you very much. And I want each and every one of you to experience the happiness, the joy, and the success that you're looking for. So with that, we'll play some music. Hope you guys have a great day, and we'll see you guys next Tuesday. Thanks, everyone.